Hello, hello. Welcome to the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast with Ashley Kirkwood. I am coming with a really special episode right now. I wanted to talk to you all, particularly those of you who are in my audience, about something that literally just happened. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you'll hear this the Monday afterwards. But basically, I just learned some incredible leadership lessons from watching The Woman King. And I wanted to talk, I'm not going to do any spoilers. For those of you who have not seen it, go see it, please. You have to go see that movie. I'm not going to do any spoilers in this video, but I wanted to share the leadership lessons that I learned from watching The Woman King. Okay, so first off, if you're watching this live, let me know, have you seen The Woman King? Have you seen The Woman King? Drop a 1 in the chat if you've seen The Woman King. Drop a 1 in the chat if you've seen The Woman King, okay? Drop a 1 in the chat if you've seen The Woman King. It is an incredible movie. I highly recommend you go see it. But I was talking to a girlfriend of mine. You all know her, Audrey Richmond of Unclone Marketing. Shout out to Unclone Marketing. And she was like, you should talk to your audience about what you're feeling after seeing the movie because it was just that good. So I was reflective a little bit, and I wrote down 4 leadership lessons that I learned from watching the movie. No spoilers, but I'm going to share these leadership lessons, what they mean to me. And if you are an entrepreneur, a business owner, particularly a woman-run business, if you are someone who really values your community and just want to get better at doing what you do, you may absolutely love this movie. It's already out. I already saw it. It's off the chain. So let's get into the 3 leadership lessons I learned from watching The Woman King. I'm literally going to jump right in. And if you relate to any of this, if you hear something you relate to, drop relate in the chat. If you relate on the podcast, you like this episode, send us an email. Let me know you heard it. Shout out to the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast fam. And y'all know, so like right now, this is where I'm at in my life. I am in the middle of Q4. I think it's Q4, right? Almost Q4. So we're prepping for Q4. We have grown Speak Your Way to Cash significantly this year because my husband joined and some other things. I am weeks away from hosting Speak Your Way to Cash's first ever Black Woman Sales Summit. If you have not heard of what the Black Woman Sales Summit is, click the links in this video or go to speakyourwaytocashsummit.com. It's really a summit to encourage, inspire, educate, and empower Black women entrepreneurs to grow their businesses by selling more services, right? So all this is happening. And then I go see that. I literally wasn't even going to go see it, but one of the people I follow on Instagram was like, best movie ever. You have to go see The Woman King. So we saw that post yesterday. We went to see it today. Y'all, the emotions that I felt seeing women in positions of immense power while showing their humanity is something that I really can't describe. But there were a few leadership lessons that I wanted to pull out and talk to you guys a little bit, and we will not be on here long. So if you want a friend to watch this, share it with them now if you want to see it live. So first leadership lesson, you can be simultaneously powerful and also broken in some areas. I'm going to repeat that. This is one of the overarching themes that I got out of the movie. So this is the leadership lesson number 1. You can be simultaneously powerful and also broken in some areas. Like so often we hear, you can't serve others unless you are on a particular level yourself. We hear that if you are in leadership, you have a heightened level of responsibility, which is true. We hear you have to do like, we're in a society where, leaders are put on a pedestal. But one of the things that I love that this movie brought out was that you can be simultaneously powerful and broken in some areas at the exact same time. And so 2 leaders who are leading through a season in their lives where they do not feel they are exhibiting all the greatness that is within them, you can be simultaneously powerful and broken in some areas at the exact same time and still lead others well, lead others to victories, lead others to a result, lead others through pains and challenges that you yourself may still be going through. You can do both. And we're not like, oftentimes as women, we feel like it's either or. Like you can be a great mom or you can be great in corporate America. You can be, a sensual feminine woman, or you can be dominant in business. The truth of the matter is there is duality and complexity to every outstanding leader. And we sometimes feel like we don't deserve that privilege of having dualities, of having complexities. And so to see extremely high level, just incredible leadership, but also see behind the scenes of some of the challenges that she was going through in the film was just really, really, it resonated with me. If that resonates with anyone, drop a 2 in the chat. Drop a 2 in the chat. So freaking good. Okay. That's lesson number 1. We're gonna move on to lesson number 2 because I could really stay on number 1 all day. Number 2, your power is in controlling your emotions, but never losing your heart for the people. Ooh. Like, these are just some themes that literally came to me while watching the movie and reflecting about the movie. Your power is in controlling your emotions, but never losing your heart for the people. How many of you have ever felt like, if you're a leader, I don't know a leader that does not relate. Maybe there's a leader that doesn't relate to this, but I've felt this. If you've ever felt like people are ungrateful, or like, I wish, no. Here's what I want to say. If you've ever felt like, I don't I wish I didn't have a heart for people because of the toll that it takes on me, drop a 3 in the chat. Like, if you've ever felt like you weren't so emotional, like if you ever felt like you wish you didn't feel as empathetic as you felt for people, drop a 3 in the chat. If you've ever felt like that, drop a 3 in the chat. If you've ever felt like that, drop a 3 in the chat. If you've ever felt like that, drop a 3 in the chat, because I think this is important. We're talking about leadership lessons from the woman king. Like, this is my interpretation of these leadership lessons, right? So if you ever felt like that, drop a 3 in the chat. I'm seeing the threes come through. I'm seeing the threes come through. Here's the thing. I'm gonna repeat the some people are like 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. I'm gonna repeat the lesson. The lesson is, your power is in controlling your emotions, but never losing your heart for the people. I believe that there is immense power in caring. Like, some people be like, I don't care. The truth is, I do care. I'm not gonna let that care overwhelm me to the point where I am cemented into inaction, but I do care for people. I do love people. It does hurt my feelings when people do certain things. I'm always going to have a soft spot for my family. I'm always going to desire love and affection. I do want good friendships. I do like being accepted. Like, these the fallacy of, I don't care what people think or what people feel, or I don't care about that long as I get mine. That mentality does not on its own make you an incredibly powerful leader. It just doesn't, right? It just doesn't. So I definitely loved the theme that your power is. Now, there's 2 parts to this. Your power is in controlling your emotions. If you've been following me for any period of time, you've heard me say this, but one of my favorite affirmations, or prayers rather, is, Lord, um, Lord, help me not to be a slave to my emotions. I don't want to lose my emotions. I just don't want my emotions to have me shackled to them. Like, I don't want my actions to be solely or predominantly determined based on how I feel about a person, place, or thing. I don't think that allows me to be the leader that I'm supposed to be. So my favorite prayer is, Lord, one of my favorite prayers is, Lord, help me not to be a slave to my emotions. But I am grateful that I have emotions, right? I'm grateful that I have emotions. And one of the lessons that you'll see when you all go see the movie is that your power is in controlling that, but never losing your heart for the people. There has to be, I feel like great leaders love people. Great leaders care about people, especially when you're in the people business. Now, if I was in the business of like creating water bottles, then I mean, I should care about the people. I don't want the plastic to do any harm to people. You still should care about people. But the level of leadership that I aspire to is not determined by the money in my bank account. It is determined by the impact that I have on the earth. So in order to have impact in the earth, like, I have to be able to love the people, have a heart for the people. I do, we gonna make some money too. Okay. But we have to have a heart for the people. So I really like that. And the third lesson that I'll talk about today, and then I have a bonus one, a fourth one, is greatness requires immense, relentless focus and a control over your physical, mental, and emotional state of being. Okay. So this is something that I picked up on in the movie. Now, when y'all go see it, you got to watch this again and let me know if you agree or disagree. But greatness requires immense, relentless focus. Let's take that one. I've been thinking a lot about this, y'all. Recently, I've been contemplating. I'm letting y'all, can I go behind the scenes? Like, can I tell y'all stuff that I've been contemplating? Just drop BTS in the chat if y'all are down for me getting a little vulnerable and telling y'all some stuff that I've been thinking about. Drop BTS in the chat if you're down for me telling y'all what I've been thinking about lately, as it relates to growing my business and doing all the things, and being a mom and being a wife and being a friend and being holding space for others while not giving everything to myself. Like one of the things that I've been thinking about is this. I'm not playing at championship level yet. I've had this thought, like, I'm not playing at championship level yet. I am closer than I've ever been to playing at championship level, but I'm not playing at championship level yet. And so the thought that I've been having is to get to the thing that I've been thinking about is, what am I willing to sacrifice in order to play at the highest level humanly possible for me? Like, what am I willing to sacrifice? Because I'll tell you guys the truth. I am fully aware that because of my ambition, I am not always available for the friend time or the family time or the other things that people want me to be available for. I am also fully aware that this is what I believe. I'm telling y'all my belief system. My belief system is, this is my value system. I don't know what yours is. This is what mine is. My value system is that if you wake up every day and you have a mind to do more, to serve more, to create something in the world that will dramatically enhance the lives of others, then you owe mankind a duty to do whatever it takes to bring that thing to pass. And the reason I believe that is because I also believe that everyone does not wake up with that level of drive. They just don't, right? Like, we can all pretty much agree that all people are created equal, but all efforts are not. Right? All people are equal, all efforts are not. And so I feel like if you wake up every morning, and if this is you, drop me too in the chat. If you wake up every morning and you're thinking about, what can I create? What can I produce in the world? What would people get value out of? How can I make their lives better? How can I change the trajectory of my bloodline and others? How can I push further than I pushed yesterday? How can I be better mentally, emotionally, spiritually? What does it look like to live in a world where economic disadvantages are eradicated? How can I advance that mission? Like, me and Chris have been talking a lot about vision, and one of the things that we thought about is, like, we have a mission statement and a vision statement. If you've been on any of our live videos, we've talked about what that thing is, right? But the truth of the matter is, y'all, the thing that really drives me, if I was 100% honest, I've never said this publicly before, but the thing that really drives me is that I know what it feels like to have done everything they tell you to do. Go to school, get a job, get good grades, buy a house, get married, have a kid, like all the things, right? I've done all the things. And after I did all of that, I went to a job, and every single day at that job, if someone that did not look like me, did not appreciate what I had to say, I know what it feels like to have your livelihood in the hands of someone that does not value you as a person. And that feeling of inadequacy is one that I never want my clients to feel. And so teaching sales is a way for me to empower y'all to know how to create revenue for yourself so that you can get real justice in America. Like, the truth is, in this country, justice ain't free. So in order for us to be able to have a chance at justice, it requires resources. I'm a lawyer, y'all. I've literally seen up close and personal what it looks like when you cannot afford justice. And in some instances, it's jail. In other instances, it's death. Like even when I went to give birth to my daughter, there were certain things that happened in the hospital that I didn't really like, right? But the reason why we were treated so well is because we knew the woman who delivered my daughter is a personal friend of mine. I ended up going to her to be my doctor in the 9th hour. I think I was like 7.5 or 8 months pregnant. I switched because I had another doctor that did not resemble me, that did not care about my life. Like, let me rephrase that. I had another doctor that I did not feel cared about my well-being in the same way that the woman who delivered my child did. Dr. Goodall's an amazing doctor. That's who delivered my child. That's who I ended up switching to. And it was like certain things they were telling me to do without giving me a justification. They wouldn't explain things to me. When I went to Dr. Wendy Goodall, what she did was whenever she made a recommendation, I had her send me the study it was based on. And I would be like, hey, can you send me this? Can we talk about this? Can I see where this is coming from? She took the time to explain it to me. So here's what I'm saying. The real reason I do everything that I do, the real reason that I teach sales, the real reason that I teach you all how to position yourselves, how to communicate, how to leverage language in a way that it will expand every area of your business is because if you don't have these skill sets, y'all, you will likely be taken advantage of because the systems in this country are based on a foundation of racism. That's just the truth. That is literally the truth. And so racism, sexism, all the isms, right? All the things. And so what really drives me is helping in the ways that I know how to solve economic inequality for business owners. Like that is really what we're doing here. The underlying mission is that. So keeping that in mind, going back to the lesson, greatness requires immense focus and control over your physical, mental, and emotional state of being. One of the things that I saw in the video, the second part of this, is that they were able to have so much control over what they did, when they did it, how they did it, their physicality. And it started with getting control over their bodies. Like it started with having like physical strength and exhibiting physical strength. And there is definitely a relationship between the two. And so it encouraged me and inspired me to continue on my health journey, just my physical health journey, to continue on my spiritual health journey. They had a really deep-rooted value system that is exhibited in the show. And you know what else I like? This is a pro thing. I like the dynamics between the relationship between men and women in the movie. Like y'all, I can't get no spoilers, so I can't go into that one until more y'all see it. But like, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But greatness requires an immense level of focus and control over your physical, mental, and emotional state of being. And one of the things that it requires is for you to sometimes give up some things and forego some things and sacrifice some things. And so that brings me back to what I told you guys earlier about what I'm trying to figure out is what I'm willing to sacrifice for real, for the vision, for the mission that I feel I've been placed on this earth to enact. What am I willing to do in order to go there and to get there? But everyone has to figure out that determination for themselves. Like, what are you willing to do? So I'm going to recap this. So leadership lessons I learned from the Woman King. Let's go through them all. Number 1, you can be simultaneously powerful and broken in some areas of your life. I highly recommend that anyone who feels like they're not qualified to lead, they're not qualified to do the thing they woke up this morning thinking about, to rethink it. The truth of the matter is every single leader who made history had some thorns in their side. It's what made them great at what they needed to be great at. Everything you've gone through in your life, every loss you've taken in your life, every failure you're feeling presently or will experience or have experienced, every family member you didn't think, you should, like they didn't do you right, every friendship that went wrong, every relationship, all of it is a formula to make you great, to give you what you need to rule your area of the earth. And I truly believe all of us has a calling on our lives. All of us has something that we're placed here to do. And everything you've gone through makes you perfect for your assignment. Everything I've gone through makes me perfect for my assignment. And as long as I'm willing to look at my past with the viewpoint of this is here to serve my future in some way, I won't miss the lessons that the painful past is supposed to teach me. But if you only look at it as being a painful experience, you can miss the lessons that that pain is supposed to teach you. So that's lesson number one. Lesson number two, your power is in controlling your emotions, but never losing your heart for the people. To the person listening to this, watching this, streaming this, who feels like people have done you wrong and you no longer want to serve people, I want to encourage you to keep serving people. I also want to encourage you to figure out a way to serve that does not deplete your grace. I want you to think about a way to serve that does not deplete you. The reason we talk about having 5 and 6 figure corporate speaking offers, the reason we talk about growing your business, having a team, making sure you negotiate, the reason we talk about those things is because there is some stuff that I'm supposed to do that is purely philanthropic. But the way that I make the biggest impact in that area of my life is by having a foundation of a fruitful and profitable for-profit business. So one, please keep loving people. Please keep serving people. And if you're doing what you're put here to do and you're doing it with the right heart and people don't do you right, please know that that has everything to do with how they see themselves and has nothing to do with how you see you. And do you know something else? When someone does me wrong and I feel bad about it, that's one thing. But if someone does me wrong, but in every decision I make, I think about them doing me wrong, I am now giving them license to do me wrong for the rest of my life. I want you to really think about this. When you hold grudges and the last person did me wrong. I can't hire no more because the last person didn't work out. I can't love again because the last man did me dirty. The last woman did me dirty. That means you have now given that person who does not mean you well permission to rule, control, and make decisions for every area of your life. And they've already proven to you that they do not have the capacity to do that well. So you have to forgive, not for them, but for you. The reason why this is how I do it, though. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, because people get on my nerves, and it's a thing. It is a thing, right? Not a lot of people, thank you, Lord. Most people do not, but like everyone has somebody that's like, yeah, that rubbed me wrong way. What I do is I pray for them. And I keep praying for them, and I pray for their prosperity. I pray that God would bless them beyond measure. I pray that they get everything their heart desires. I pray that they will become so happy, healed, and whole that they will never have to do the actions that they did to me or anyone else again. And I pray that I will have empathy for them, because at some point in my life, it is likely I have been them to someone else too. I remind myself of my own shortcomings and my own humanity, and I pray for them. I do not deal with them anymore, but I pray for them. And sometimes I will still deal with them. It depends on how the spirit moves me. But like for the most part, I pray for them and I wish them well. And even if they don't wish me well, what's so beautiful about owning your power is that they don't get to determine my response. I can love them and they can hate me, and that can both exist. It can exist. Like we could both be on that. Like I could give them love, they could give me hate, but that hate don't got nothing to do with me. They have to harbor that. And when I have a therapist who's incredible, she was telling me that when you harbor hate, it can lead to heart disease. Like there's correlations. And I'm like, me, send me the study. You know what I'm saying? And what that showed me is that it is up to me that even when I don't feel peace, I have the power to make peace in whatever situation I'm going through. So keep that in mind. Please still love people. Please still serve people. And then 3, greatness requires immense focus and a control over your physical, mental, and emotional state of being. We should all try every day to continue to grow our physical, mental, and emotional state of being and our spiritual state of being as well. And then here's a bonus. This is the biggest like thing, right? And I knew this, but I felt this. Women are magnificent stewards of integrity and power. And we can love each other, support each other, do all the things for each other, coexist with men, respect them and love them, and do all the things And it is not only possible, but it is probable as soon as we recognize how great we are, how powerful we are. We already are. Like, like one of the things that I say to my clients sometimes is like, there's power outlets in my house that I don't use, but it doesn't mean that they don't have power. It just means that I'm not using it. And so even if you feel like you aren't exerting your power or you don't feel powerful, that does not negate the fact that you are. And at any given time, you can access that power because it's within you. So hopefully this was good. I have a meeting. So I have to run. Otherwise, I could talk to y'all all day. If this was good, drop one thing that you got from this, share it with one person, and register for the Black Women Sales Summit that's at the end of the month. Go to speakyourwaytocashsummit.com, and I will see y'all there.